have with us Professor Abhijit Sheth, President of National Board of Examinations, and we also have Professor Vinod Vajpayee, Senior Director of National Board of Examination, and a very own Coimbatorian, Professor Rajasekhar, Association of National Board of Accredited Institutions. Welcome to Coimbatore, sir. You already clearly elaborated the vision of NBE here. And how do you want to be differentiated from the National Medical Commission? And how do you decide what are the specialties you want to get into it?
One thing is very clear from the outset that National Medical Commission has got the highest regulatory responsibility in the country. National Board of Examination of Medical Sciences is not a regulatory body of the country. It does regulate the postgraduate education as per the norms of the NMC, but our statutory body, if we consider a statutory body, regulatory body of the country, is National Medical Commission. So NMC is the main for that. Only issue is until now what used to happen that both NMC as well as ourselves have realized that we can tap the potential of unutilized, underutilized resources if we come together with both like district hospitals which are not utilizing the NMC courses, like now they are working on solutions where whether private hospitals can have a MBBS course. So what is now happening across the policymakers, we are looking for an option where we can utilize our resources to the max possibility by integrating particularly the medical education part. And it is doable because it's not going to interfere largely with the business functions of any private institutions in principle. So obviously some of the issues which government has to address, some of the issues which private institution has to address. But this is something which country needs with a very strong focus on it. That is where, but we still say that the NMC is going to be the front leader over the country. There's no question about it.
So both NMC and NBE working towards a bigger vision. Do you think one day they'll merge into one for a common purpose?
As I said, it is possibility, but at the moment what is happening that NMC is just a 1.5 year old organization. So they are settling, they have to settle the next examinations and lot of things. So possibly once they mature to that level, this is possible. And the philosophy of merging is to get the best utilization of the government resources or country resources, I wouldn't say government resources, the national resources for medical education. Yes, in principle it is possible. When it will happen, it's still a debate because the policymaker eventually will decide when this is going to happen.
With the NMC being involved with medical colleges and they dictate a lot of how undergraduate courses and postgraduate courses, and NBE doing specialized courses, how do you think the vision of NBE future like?
NBE has I'll tell you, the NMC has a limited flexibility because of their working structure, and they have to redefine their lot of policies to ensure that they can expand their pool easily to that flexibility. On the other side, they are bound by IM Act, and certainly they can't do something in daytime or like that rapidly to change the vision. While here NBMS has got an advantage because NBE works on the MOA of its own. Plus NBE works on the private institutions where decisions are much quicker and much flexible compared to the NMC. So what will happen? What happens that even today, the SOPs are such that if you merge from today or tomorrow, it's going to be a nightmare for the NMC to collect the functions of NBMS or requirement of NBMS accreditation that quickly. I'm saying about the rapidity. I'm not saying about the possibility. Possibility is there, but rapidity could be the problem. But both organizations as well as Niti Aayog as well as the government, they working together on this issue. So, as I said, in principle, possibility is there.
And many doctors have opposed the bill produced by NMC to bring Ayush doctors to practice medicine here. So there's also a common bridge course which allows people to practice. How do NBE see this?
It's a difficult area for me to comment because I'm an allopathy doctor. I will tell you in a little bit of holistic side. What has happened? What exactly doctor needs? Doctor needs IQ, EQ, which is emotional quotient, and when they have to get a holistic treatment, they have to get SQ, which is spiritual quotient. What I say, people who logically expresses all this model and principle always says about this, right? But when two systems are completely different in sciences, bringing it together, it's an iron cast challenge. And it's an iron cast challenge for anyone to say, being an allopathy doctor, when I have never studied Ayurvedic, how I can say the Ayurveda is great. I mean, you have to be transparent and frank about it. So, but as I said, that this is what the holistic concept is all about. And that last part is something which the what you call it, people with the wisdoms are looking for, that why we cannot have a system where all these three things works together for the best of the delivery of care, patient care for the countrymen. I think that is what is all about. It's a very difficult area to debate on.
And next is NBE is responsible for conducting NEET examinations throughout the country. And in Tamil Nadu, there is a government that passed a resolution saying that NEET will stay away from the state. And being the reason that it has given some undue pressure on students to pursue or crack NEET. How does the NBE see this?
We have to follow what the MOHFW and the government says. So NBE will not directly pass any comment on this. This is a subject of government to react to it. So we will not be reacting to it. Simple. We will follow the principle that what the central government takes the final decision.
And NBE has introduced many specialities and niches accordingly. In the last decade, what are the special niches that we have brought forward?
So what has happened that at the moment we have 99 specialties in total, out of which we have 29 broad specialties, 31 super specialties, 31 some special courses, and we have total we have 8 diploma courses. So we have fellowships, super specialties, subspecialties. I can give you an exact number: 29, 31, 31 and 8. Now we are planning to introduce one of more specialties. Like last year we have introduced a couple of very good specialties like DNB in geriatric medicine, which is the much more needed course in the country. And this is the specialty we have introduced from this year, and it will be functional from the next year. We are planning to introduce, we haven't gone to board yet, so at the moment we have just discussed in prima facie, is to have a postgraduate master degree in medical education. And we want to make sure that we built up the culture, faculties and teaching and training across the country. The motive to create this 101, the number 100 it will be, the motive is to create the number 100 is this, that we want to motivate our doctors to reach to the next level of teaching and training. I don't know how much we will be successful, but we'll try our best.
So you asked what is the which specialties? If just for explanation, if I can tell you. So if we consider orthopedic surgery, under the medical colleges you can get an MS orthopedics. But then all of us who finish orthopedics, basic orthopedic training, but the field is expanding so much. Then if you have to get specially trained in spine surgery or trauma surgery or joint replacement surgery or sports medicine or arthroscopy, then the only way that we could do was to go abroad. But there are at least 20 or 25 really top class hospitals in India which are doing at the rate of the surgery or the number of surgeries are much higher than what you can get abroad. And I think here is where the national board really came in with super specialization. For example, we have FNB a little higher than DNB, 2 years. And what is the most important thing? It's a 2-year fellowship. So they are not half-baked super specialists. They're 2 years of solid training. And so for in orthopedics, you have spine surgery, trauma surgery, joint replacement surgery, sports medicine, hand surgery, and microsurgery. I mean, I don't think anywhere else in the world such organized syllabus-wise, curriculum-rated training is available with an exit exam where they are accredited. Even the student gets a exam and then he becomes a accredited spine surgeon. It is not available, I would say, in 95% of the countries.
So basically all the fellowship courses are not recognized by NMC, but they are skill enhancement courses. And private institutions or even government institution with the best subspecialty are the most ideal to run these courses, fellowship courses. And these courses are very, very useful and vital for the students to go to the next level of their medical practice and to develop the clinical insight.
And also this converges with the Prime Minister's request of having doubling the number of doctors and also doubling the number of medical seats in the colleges. Do you think we have enough infrastructure, especially doctors, to train doctors right now with the current speed?
In the given format there are issues, but as I said that once we will analyze it thoroughly across both the public and private system, we will certainly get far more numbers of faculties. And we also need to work together, like tomorrow Anbai is going to discuss about the faculty development program. Certainly all the stakeholders across the country need to develop, as I said, the culture of teaching and training. And the day it will develop, I don't see any problem that there should be any shortage of. The problem is you have a best of the practitioners, but they are not interested in teaching. That is what the main problem which we are facing at the moment. So at least I don't know what is going to happen with the past, but at least for the future generation, we must imbibe that culture of training, teaching and training. That will be immensely helpful. You may not see the result tomorrow. You may see the result after 5-10 years.
So as the president of ANBI, sir, how do you think the future of medical education in India is with private education too? Private institutions coming board?
So like we mentioned before, I think the bulk of the patient treatment, fortunately or unfortunately, in a setup like India is also involving the private setup. So statistics wise, more than 80% of surgeries done in our country is in the private setup. I would even say that 90% of sophisticated surgeries are done in the private setup. And more than 60% of medical treatment also is in the private setup. So there is a lot of expertise available. There is a lot of case. In medicine, it's not just, you cannot read it from the books. You need the patients to get your experience. So there is an avenue possible that there are patients available, there are well-trained doctors available, and many of them are interested in teaching. So the trick is to bring all of them together and synergize towards a common goal of educating our younger people. So I think with the national board's vision and the push and the very progressive thinking that the national board under our president in the last 7 years, we have undergone a radical change in our look, the way we have looked at education. I think there is a very bright future where the national board and all the institutions will come together for the goodness of medical education.
Talking about doctors ready to teach other doctors right now, how do you differentiate an experienced doctor and a doctor who's ready to teach other doctors?
So I think this will actually come, I would actually say it's the reverse. Students will actually choose who are the good teachers. So this is very important. I mean, students and young junior doctors can differentiate who are the good teachers and where good training is available. The reason I am telling this is, even though there are accredited institutions, you would find that many of the students apply for some institutions and they want to go and work with teachers who are not in accredited institutions, because they are born teachers and they know they are already well known for teaching. So there are, just like good surgeons, not good surgeons, there are good teachers. It's an inherent ability, and junior surgeons will always know where to get training.
Okay, now with NBE coming closer to the same vision, you think the possible things of making it faster?
Yeah, I'm sure that the next 5 years will be groundbreaking. We have good leaders, so that will be the most important thing. I mean,
And also have a good team.
As a team, and the good executive.
We have all these stalwarts in our governing board, Professor Bajpayee and all that. And they voluntary work. They voluntary work for the best interest of the country.
So there are many medical students from Ukraine who have visited India and they are facing their difficulties in continuing their studies. And you're also mentioning that NBE now has virtual classes in place. Any idea of helping out Ukraine students to continue education?
For virtual class, it shouldn't be a problem, because as many people, as much of bandwidth we have, we can utilize our empty bandwidth to the benefit of any students, not even the Ukraine students, any students. I think Professor Bajpayee has done a great step of doubling the capacity of the digital education. And it's not doubling, he is planning to now increase 4 times in coming few months. So this is what is working on the digital education at the moment. But no student will be barred in principle as such. This is not only meant for, obviously the initial detail is shared to the DNB institution. But if we have resources available, we won't restrict them, because until now we were taking the examination of foreign medical licensing students. So I don't think so that is a question at all. We will not stop them if they need to. Yeah, if they want that passes without any effort, that we will not do. So that is something which we can't do. But yes, any support from the National Board of Examination to prepare them to complete the Indian examination system, we are there to help them. But our primary responsibilities obviously will go to our DNB students first. And whatever the available resources are there, we won't have any problem of accommodating them. There's no question about it.
Thank you so much for your time, sir, and thank you.